All right, what is going on, Banter fam? Welcome into Monday's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to take a little bit of a look into the crypto gaming markets today as we're seeing quite a recovery. So Bitcoin's kind of trending upwards for the day, at least to start the week. And we have some projects that we've talked about quite a bit here, doing pretty well on the recovery bounce here. We have this, the in-game token for Pegaxy, up 76% this week, which is absolutely insane. And we'll talk about that economy a little more in this video. We have Vulcan Forged up 45% this week. We also have Sandbox at such a high market cap up 40% this week. So great to see the metaverse and gaming bounce going on in the market right now. But today's video, I want to dive into a few institutional notes. We got some big companies once again showing their interest in the metaverse and NFTs. As well, we're going to dive into the best passive income opportunities in all of crypto gaming. And I'm talking about playing games. I'm talking about renting out your assets. Validator nodes, staking opportunities, and more. So we'll get into all of that in this edition and more. So without further ado, let's get in the game.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you don't play, but ain't a percent. If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you don't play, but ain't a play. If you get lost, show you the way.
All right, let's dive right into it, guys. And I've been preaching for almost weeks now on the channel that the biggest narrative in all of crypto is the metaverse. And on top of that, it's NFTs. But on top of that, it's the institutional interests, right? So when institutions are coming in right now and they're looking to get involved in the space, they're not taking a look at blue chip projects, the big coins like Bitcoin and stuff like that. They're going right into the metaverse because that's what the trend is, right? So Mark Zuckerberg came in and stamped his feet and said, you know, Facebook, we're going to go meta and we're going to move into the metaverse. And now we have other big tech CEOs, such as Apple's CEO, saying we see a ton of potential in the metaverse and we are investing accordingly. This is just the beginning of the money and the interest and the news that's going to come out in this space, which, in my opinion, the institutional money is going to take metaverse into another level, just like the Facebook news did. Whenever we do see Apple officially get in the metaverse, when we see Amazon officially get in the metaverse, we're going to see it taken to another level. And as you see the last time, whenever Sandbox was at like 80 cents, now it's at $4. It's still a 5x. It's holding at about 4 to 5x from that 80-cent mark before the Facebook news. So there's a lot of narratives in the metaverse and gaming sector specifically that I think could trigger a bull run for this sector whenever we do go back up. We're going to see a lot of these institutions getting involved throughout not only this year, the next couple of years to build a product for 2023, 2024, and beyond. So good to see tech CEOs like Apple, like we've been talking about, saying, you know, the metaverse has tons and tons of potential. And then on top of that, we have American Express's CEO saying, we're looking at ways to get involved with NFTs. Now, how could that work with a card operator or like a credit card company? I'm not too sure. But it's good to see, regardless, that these big companies, right, these tech giants and these finance giants are saying, look, it's hard to ignore what's going on right now in the metaverse and NFT space. So just seeing this interest is just the tip of the iceberg. So in my opinion, keep your eyes out for more and more institutional interest. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen Samsung say, we're going to put NFTs in our smart TVs. We have Netflix teasing NFTs. We have so many projects and institutions getting involved. So keep your eyes out. And shout out to Blockworks because they come out with a lot of this NFT and crypto gaming metaverse news pretty quickly. So shout out to them for that credible information as well. Another Blockworks tweet here, because for this last weekend, it was the first time in NFT search volume history. So in search volume history that NFT search volume was higher than crypto. So right now the narrative is not, mainstream adoption of crypto. Right now, NFTs are taking over. We saw, so many people now are aping in, no pun intended, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. We saw Justin Bieber get involved with Bored Ape Yacht Club. Eminem recently got involved. We have Timbaland, Snoop Dogg. There's so many people involved in these different NFTs and these different projects. Snoop Dogg has a full-blown metaverse set and assets within the Sandbox metaverse, for example. So many major figures are getting involved in the NFT space, which is driving the interest even higher than cryptocurrency right now, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. And I think it's just the beginning, guys. Imagine in the future when your house deed can be an NFT and you don't have to go search through your office drawer, right? You can verify that you own something right here on your smartphone within literally 10 seconds. You just pull up your wallet, boom, it's on the blockchain, it's what you own. Your car title, etc. Things are going to move to an NFT and a digital ownership verification system in the future. And I would not be surprised to see that fully take over. And NFTs will be an internet type of movement in that regard. I truly, truly believe that. All right, guys. So not too much news today on today's show. I really want to talk about the different ways you can earn passively within crypto gaming, whether it's having assets and leasing them out, or playing idle games where you basically click a button and for 4 hours something happens. You come back later, you collect, and you do it again. Stuff like that. We're also going to get into some LP, so liquidity pool opportunities. We're going to look at some staking opportunities, land opportunities. So let's get into it without further ado. And I want to start with the giant in the space. So we'll start with scholarships. So this is an emphasis on passive income, right? So while the market's down and the market's trending sideways, crypto gaming provides this really unique opportunity for players who want to earn the in-game tokens, or players who are looking to actually earn a living income within these games, or spread their assets and spread their time between multiple games to be able to make a living wage. Axie Infinity is one of the most thriving scholarship systems in all of the blockchain. And you can actually put together Axie Infinity scholarships yourself. Now, it will take finding a scholar within like Discord servers, Reddit servers, stuff like that, and finding someone trustworthy. And there's a lot of videos out there how to set up an Axie Infinity scholarship. And I'm not going to go tutorial mode today, but you would need 3 Axies. And you would basically just need to find a scholar to be able to use your Axies. And there's so many videos out there, like I said, where you can get a tutorial on how to set up an Axie Infinity scholarship. But you would just need 3 Axies to get started. And this is a way to get involved on the ground level. Really, Axies are pretty cheap, about $30 an Axie right now. And this is the framework of crypto gaming. So you want to get something simple started. You could get some scholarship systems going in Axie Infinity that you're not playing on, but scholars are using your accounts to earn, and you do a split of the SLP or whatever deal you decide with the scholar. So that's number one. And I would say continuation on that is in Pegaxy. So Pegaxy, we've been talking about and hollering from the top rope since late November, early December here, that Pegaxy has the best economy right now for in-game earnings. And there's no doubt about it, because you take a look at their in-game earnings token, VIS, and this thing is going absolutely insane. Most of these crypto games, like SLP for Axie Infinity, the thing about it is it completely just has tanked. The THC token for Dayton Arena has completely tanked. But the in-game earnings token here for Pegaxy is going way, way up. It's up 31% today. It's almost 20 cents, which are making the earnings inside of the Pegaxy economy absolutely lucrative. So what keeps the economy stable, right? So the VIS token is being burned at an 86% rate. So 86% of the VIS burned in this period, which means there's a certain amount minted, as you see here, about 230 million VIS minted. But there has been almost 200 million burned in the breeding system. Now, they are saying that this will eventually have its flaws and people will stop breeding. So they're going to come out with ways to keep the economy healthy. But this is the type of economy you want to look for, right? Where the earnings are stable. And I just want to point out, guys, with this new bump in VIS, and this won't be forever. VIS will definitely go back down eventually. But at almost 20 cents, guys, we're looking at 33,000 VIS. We're looking at $6,000 last week off of 20 horses, guys. Like, this is serious, serious income you can make off of these games if you're willing to put the investment in and scale it up. So the one thing about passive income, guys, these people, they don't just wake up one day and they own 30 properties in a real estate development career, right? If you're in that field, it takes an investment to make that passive income, right? So if you're willing to get involved in some of these economies and these games, it's very fruitful, I can tell you that. And it shows dividends when some of the biggest guilds in the space are continuously adding scholarship programs. And as they said, the most requested scholarship program that Good Games Guild has was Pegaxy. So very good to see. And it's awesome to see some of the community that's getting involved, right? This is the most insane passive earnings that I have come across. I bought some Pegas and I'm making about $1,000 per month per horse at the current price and rent it out at 30%. This could be life-changing. And then on Twitter, my first Pegaxy horses made 500 plus in this in their first week. I expected to see covered much more on YouTube and on articles. So it's good to see not only, me making money in this economy, but some of the Banter fam who has gotten involved over time and is able to be like, this is legit, because it is. And we've been buying horses since about $400 up to $1,500. I've bought a horse before. So I'm in at various different levels of horses. But if you're willing to get in this economy, it's definitely fruitful. And check out CryptoBanter.com too. Because we came out with the full-blown profitability and economy guide today on Pegaxy. So I will move on to the next project, but definitely check out CryptoBanter.com and this article if you want to know more on the economy, because they have a deflationary model that keeps it very, very stable, and it's worth looking into, I can tell you that. And then another game that's really caught on as far as passive earnings go, and that's Crabada. So this is on the Avalanche chain, actually. And basically, it is a play and earn idle game. Now, this one, just like Pegaxy, you would need to put a little bit of money in, right? You have to get a couple of characters, and characters are pretty, some would say expensive right now. But when you look at the earnings potential behind Crabada, right? So you have a team of 3 here, and basically you just put them in battle in this idle type of game. And you can go in either arena or you can do the mining mode. But the earnings in this economy are very, very legit. Let's take a look at the mining expedition. Players form a team of 3 once deployed on a vacant mine. The hardworking Crabada will begin mining treasure. Mining expeditions take 4 hours and return a reward of 3.7 Crabada and 303 TUS. So if you do 303 TUS per 4 hours, let's say you succeed on your mining expedition and you get 300 TUS, the current price of TUS is 30 cents. You would have made $90 in that hour, or in that 4 hours. You would have made $90 from a mining expedition, sending your Crabada characters on a mining expedition in this economy. So that adds up quite a bit, guys. And as you see here, you can take a look at the white paper. If you play moderately, you could go at about 50% win rate. You could get about 600 TUS a day at 0.3. You're making about $180 a day on the economy right then and there. And you also get some of the Crabada tokens as well. So this is one of those economies, guys. It takes a little bit of investment to get in, but people are paying off their investment very quickly, as we see here. Day 20 update on Crabada. I have officially breaking even. So he put 7,000 into the game. And within 20 days, he paid it off. And now it is full-blown profit. And as he said, he's going to start a breeding farm with the earnings now that he has paid off his initial investment. And it kind of shows you here, off of 4 mines, he was earning 1,300 TUS per day. So at 100% win rate for 4 mines. At the current price, guys, that's ridiculous. I mean, you're making a few $100 a day off of a play-to-earn game, right? So people just have to understand, it does take a little bit of an investment in some of these passive economies, but that's what you need working for you in the bear market, right? You don't want to have to be throwing money into coins, DCAing all the time with the market uncertainties. These are the type of things that if you're willing to put a little money into here and there, that you can really stack up passively. And this game right here is very lucrative. If you're willing to spend the money and get involved, take a look at Crabada and definitely Pegaxy. Pegaxy's economy is definitely peaking right now. So I'm not going to tell you, go in and ape in on it. But the earnings right now are absolutely insane. So let's move on from games and scholarship programs and idle play to earn games where you literally every 4 hours can just deploy your crabs to do a mining expedition. Let's get into the next category, which is staking and farming, right? So DeFi Kingdoms, for example, they've taken DeFi and they've really gamified it. So it's really fun to go in their little world. You can go to the gardens, you can go to the bank, the tavern. It's basically got some nice music and some good scenery, and it's really just LP right now. So liquidity pools, you can stake Harmony 1, and you can do 1 in Jewel, you can do Avalanche Jewel, you can do Terra Luna in Jewel, Phantom Jewel. There's so many different liquidity pairs you can do within DeFi Kingdoms, within the gardens, and most of them are paying 250% to 400% right now in the DeFi Kingdoms LP in the gardens. So this is something, if you're willing to risk the impermanent loss, and I cannot unfortunately give you an impermanent loss lesson in this video, that is something that you have to do further research on, because even if I told you about it, I think you'd even have more questions. So there is risk of impermanent loss when you're liquidity pooling. If one asset goes too high or too low according to the other, there is a balancing there. So you can have some impermanent loss. But if you're willing to stay involved in these staking and these LP protocols while the market's down, when this market goes up, you're really going to reap the rewards of all those tokens you're stashing. So that's like one thing I've seen in a different sector. I have my Phantom holdings, for example, in Tomb Finance. And I remember the initial dip kind of in the fall, late fall of Phantom. It kind of went back into that $1 range. But I can tell you, when we went back up to $3 Phantom and T-shares and Tomb were doing their thing, I can tell you that LP pool looked really, really good at that time. So if you're willing to stay involved at these levels at about 300% on different LP pools, this is another way to stack up tokens. Pretty low risk. I mean, you're just putting your money to work. Definitely don't go find out the newest staking projects and throw your money into it. But DeFi Kingdoms is a solid option for LP and gamifying your LP, as well as Vulcan Forged. So Vulcan Forged right now is at about 144% for their ETH and PYR LP. And that's not like crazy APR or APY, but at the end of the day, you're trying to put your money to work, right? So if you have Ethereum, you have Vulcan Forged, this is something to maybe take a look at as well. And on top of that, we've talked about this multiple times on the channel, staking your Axie and ETH for Ron, or staking your Ron and ETH for more Ronin token, I think is a very good option. As you see, 144% APR, 409% APR, and 250% APR on Ronin Ethereum. Same risks. You're risking a little bit of impermanent loss here, but I was able to stack up a good amount of tokens for the Ronin before the Ronin token went live for trading, and that was very fruitful. And now I've moved it all over into the Ronin and ETH pool, and I'm just farming more Ronin. Because I think that this blockchain behind Axie Infinity, when more games on board specifically, will definitely take off. And also, they're already the second highest transacted NFT blockchain out there by volume. So a lot of good things in the staking and LP world and inside of gaming. And I think that these are the opportunities to look at within DeFi Kingdoms, or your favorite projects, or some of your biggest holdings, maybe putting those in LP like the Vulcan Forged, for example. And then the next thing, and there's also single-sided staking. So there are single-sided staking. You don't always have to LP. And Ronin single-sided staking is on the way as well. So keep your eyes out for that. But I do think LP will give you that better percentage, but you have that risk of impermanent loss. So just keep that in mind. Now, the next category of passive income. Now, this is a little bit in the future if you're willing to invest and hold. So if you have your land in Sandbox, or you have your land in Decentraland, Network, Big Time, any of these, if you're looking to get involved in Heroes of Mavia land, if you have any of these land plots within games like The Walking Dead or anything like that within Gala, there's so many different opportunities here to have land work for you in the future. So in these metaverses, people will be renting out their land plots. People will be building stuff to earn on their land plots, for example. There's so much utility in the future of metaverse land and the crossover between metaverse land and real estate. So right now, you would be kind of just buying in and holding on your land at the moment. But in the future, you're going to be able to make this land work for you, or you can just strictly rent out your land to people who are using it, and you get a share of the profits for the rental of your land. And I think, whether it's Sandbox, Decentraland, Network, big time. Big time's land's doing absolute numbers right now. The biggest one's at $24,000. Even the top level, the small space, Exalted, that's a 3x plus from whenever it sold at, and it's above $6,000. Like, Metaverse land is definitely something that, not only you should have your eye on, but big corporations have their eyes on. These guys, these big corps are going into the Metaverse in Sandbox and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on these land plots so they can build an HQ and start advertising and marketing in the Metaverse, because so many people are going to move their businesses and move their advertising space into the Metaverse. It's the next wave of social media. And when I say that, I'd say that in all seriousness. We know because Zuckerberg literally started the whole trend. Zuckerberg came in and said, you know what? I'm going to give you Facebook, and we're going to come in and we're going to change the landscape of how you interact, right? They changed exactly how we interact. You hop on Twitter every single day. We all hop on Instagram or whatever your favorite app is. If you're a social media, if you don't do social media, congrats to you, because it's very, they know how to get you addicted to something, for example. So they're going to bring Metaverse in the exact same way. So I see this really picking up, and all these different corps are coming in and buying up Metaverse land. So there's a lot of opportunities in existing projects that have like upcoming Metaverses and games. And also there's land sales that haven't happened yet. So like Heroes of Mavia, I'm really bullish on this project. It's like the Clash of Clans of the blockchain. You can try to apply for their whitelist of their NFTs right now. As you see, the common land, the rare land, and the legendary land. But this is just one of many projects coming up that could have so much potential if you're able to get in on the land and stuff like that. Like inside of Sin City, for example, they have their Genesis Pass and their blueprints. But whenever you can buy land and stuff like that to start your businesses, I think that's going to be pretty lucrative for some of the biggest projects. And then this is just a side note. There are projects out there, guys, in the NFT space right now that you can stake and actually earn. So you basically, it's like land a little bit in a way that you basically just put it to work for you. So you stake your land and you actually earn some tokens every single day for staking your land. So that's another option. Like I know the Creepz Genesis is doing this right now, and the Genesis Critters as well. It's kind of a crossover between NFT and Minecraft. But these are types of projects that earn yield every day as far as the tokens. Now, the Critters don't earn as much. The Creepz, there's a reason these are 4.5 floor because right now these are producing legitimate income for holders. And then obviously, I'm not going to bring it up, but Neo Tokyo, the floor price is crazy, but you do earn a passive yield just for holding the NFT. So there's a lot of opportunities in land and in-game NFTs, in my opinion. And as you see here, another staking land play. So Vulcan Forged, you can basically stake your land for big time monthly rewards, a share of 4 million monthly rewards. So if you buy your Vulcanverse land, there's a 20-day period before it can be staked. And then you can stake your land and put it to work for you passively once again, which is the emphasis here, right? The biggest thing I hear in gaming is hustle. I want to know how to get involved. It looks awesome, but I can't play the game. So I'm trying to bring you every single passive opportunity that there is so you can weigh your options and invest appropriately to put your money to work in times like this. And then this is definitely in a different level of price range, but it's something that's worth considering because more protocols will come out with nodes in the future. So Gala nodes were the first big gaming nodes to come into the space. They're pretty expensive right now at 485,000 Gala. You can do the math on however many cents Gala is right now. These are pretty expensive to get in on, but they were super lucrative for the people who got them super early. So what's the next early node play potentially? Well, we know Vulcan Forge is teasing Forge nodes, and I know myself, I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for when Vulcan Forge nodes do come out. That is something I am going to try to get in on. And I just think that nodes are something that are underutilized in the gaming space. So let's say the Elysium blockchain for Vulcan Forged is processing a ton of transactions every single day. And eventually their games have tons of active players. Your nodes are going to be collecting some of the transaction fees from the activity within the blockchain on Vulcan Forged for their Elysium blockchain. I just think that's a no-brainer. If you're able to get on these future nodes, this is very lucrative to be able to potentially earn PYR or my bad, PYR or the Lava token. I think there's a lot of opportunities in this, and in the future, more protocols are going to utilize what Gala did successfully with their Gala nodes. Because I know anyone who got in on these early is like, dude, it's the best thing that's ever happened, right? So if you can find this next opportunity in nodes, which are pretty hot in DeFi right now too. Nodes have picked up quite a bit of steam in the DeFi community recently. So if these gaming nodes come to fold, I think that's something you should definitely consider. But other than that, guys, that's the passive income pillars that I wanted to bring to you. So there are scholarships / rental systems. You have idle play to earn games where you basically check in every once in a while, put your assets to work, and you're able to earn off them passively in an idle game. So a simulation, you don't have to control the characters the entire time to earn. I showed you ways to earn with liquidity pooling and staking, as well as land opportunities in the present and future. You can stake your land with Vulcan Forged, or you can just stack up your land assets in these upcoming games, which I think will appreciate as time goes on, because Metaverse and in-game land is going to be very, very sought after, especially in economies where there's a finite amount. So you want to find economies too where there's a limit to the land, because that is going to make it even more valuable. If it's something that just can continually be processed into the system, it could lose value. So always look at the supply of what you're buying into if you're buying into land. But there's a lot of opportunities across the entire space, and I wanted to bring you the top passive income methods in crypto gaming right now. And then this week, I will dig into WonderHero. I know that WonderHero just came out with their play-to-earn RPG game. It's got like anime-style graphics, really clean, and it's on the App Store. If you download the Test Flight app and you just go on their website, you're able to play this game now on your phone. I actually been playing it on my iPhone to test it out, and I will give you a little bit of a review this week, as well as some earning guide, as well as like how much can you make in this economy? Is it worth investing, etc. So we will get into that and more this week, guys. But I'm going to get out of here and be sure to like the video if you enjoyed the show. It really helps get the show out in front of more people just like yourself who are bullish on crypto gaming. And be sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of In the Game. As always, play well, my friends.